Hey everybody, thanks for joining me again. A couple of days ago I did a video on the kidneys, and then I got a whole bunch of comments and a whole bunch of emails telling me where are the adrenals, and I thought, you know, they're right. How can you do a video about the kidneys without doing a video on the adrenals? I mean, because it's like they're right on top of there. And a lot of people have really bad adrenals. They have really bad adrenal fatigue. You know, they're tired all the time. They're depressed all the time. They can't get up in the morning. So adrenal problems are just as huge, I think, as kidney problems, because I mean, they're attached to each other. They have to be. So one of the things that you definitely want to take care of is your adrenal problem, because you want to take care of those adrenals in order to get your kidneys going and functioning correctly. Your adrenals are about the size of a walnut, and they sit right up above your kidneys, and they actually weigh less than a grape. If you were to hold them, they actually would weigh less than a medium-sized grape. Your adrenals produce about 50 different hormones, and it's one of the glands in your body that actually produces the most amount of hormones. So they're very, very, very important to keep them going and to keep them stimulated and to keep them working properly. The adrenals have 3 different layers. They're all zona layers, and right in the middle there's the medulla. Each one of those layers, I'm not going to get into it, each one of those layers produce certain hormones, and they accept certain things and they put out certain things, and you know, certain things make them work, but it's just too much intricate for this video. But anyway, you basically now know that your adrenals have 3 different layers, and they do 3 different things, and they produce 3 different hormones. One of the main things that just absolutely kills, and yes, I do have my notes because I have to have my notes, otherwise I go off on tangents, you guys. Day-to-day stress it is horrible for the adrenals, and a lot of people will sit there and think, oh, stress, it's the stress of my job, or the stress of, it's everything. It's the alarm going off in the morning and you're just like, oh, why is it that's stress. Why is it going? And then you get into your car and you go to start it up, and you know, your windshield wipers aren't working, and it's like, oh. And then you get on the road and the guy on the radio says, hey, so many people were killed today, in an airplane, and that's stress. And standing in traffic, waiting for that light, watching the clock, your boss, the kids, life is stressful. So we were never meant to have this much stress. So stress is an adrenal killer, and the more stress that you're under, the faster that you're going to wipe out your adrenals. Another thing that kills adrenals, believe it or not, is food. Junk food kills adrenals. Well, just like it kills kidneys, right? I mean, you're drinking the wrong stuff, it's going to kill the kidneys. You're eating the wrong stuff, it's going to kill the adrenals. You do both, and you might as well just give it up, because you're going to end up messing both of them up. So when your adrenals are not working properly, you're going to see a lot of high acidosis in the body. Your body is going to become very acidic, just like your kidneys. You cannot think adrenals without thinking kidneys. You cannot think kidneys without thinking adrenals. So you're going to end up having a lot of acid in the body. Acid causes a lot of pain in the body. So the more pain that you have in your body, the more acid that you have in your body. You know that, because if you did not have acid in your body, and I was told this once and I didn't believe it. They told me, once you get the acid out of your body, you're not going to have the pain anymore. And I thought, how can I not have all this pain? And it's true. My knees don't pop anymore. My ankles don't crack and pop anymore. I don't have that pain in my shoulders anymore. I don't have pain in my hips anymore. All the pain has gone away, because when you start moving that acid out of your body, the pain leaves right with it. But when your adrenals are down, you're going to notice high potassium levels. You're going to notice decreased glucose levels. So your blood sugar is going to be very low. You might be hypoglycemic. You're going to have problems with reabsorption of sodium, basically the salts. So you're going to have very low sodium levels. You're going to have very low blood pressure. A lot of people with adrenal fatigue will just literally just pass out. I was one of those, and they could not figure out why I was passing out. I mean, I literally would just be standing there, and the next thing you know, I would get really dizzy, and I would just hit the floor. And for a long time, they were checking my vagus nerve, because they thought that that nerve makes you pass out. And they kept doing scans of my head, because they kept saying that when the blood does not circulate to your brain, you end up passing out. I can't tell you guys how many scans I had done of my head. I'm telling you, this is why they ruined my thyroid, was with all this radiation. But they kept insisting that was it. And finally, it took all my research and going in there and finding out that it was my adrenals. But like I said, doctors don't really know too much about kidneys and adrenals, so you guys got to get educated on this stuff and take care of your own body. Low adrenals will make you crave sugar and salt. I literally could sit in front of the TV and eat a whole butt cake. I could not get enough sugar into my body. I mean, I literally lived on salt and sugar, and nothing tasted better to me than salt and vinegar potato chips. I could eat a whole bag, and it was, I mean, back and forth, sugar, salt, salt. And it wasn't until I learned everything that I realized that there's a connection between the adrenals and craving sugar and craving salt. And by the way, there's nothing that will actually kill your adrenals faster than sugar. Sugar is horrible for them. Another thing which I also experienced is sensitivity to cold, which also goes hand in hand with your thyroid, but your adrenals will also cause it. And my feet were always cold. My lower extremities were always cold. I could not stay warm enough. And it's actually funny, because I just went over to a client's house, and the first thing she told me when I walked through the door was, I'm so glad you're here. I've been from doctor to doctor to doctor, and I'm hoping you can help me, because nobody can figure out what's wrong with me. And as I'm sitting there talking to this woman, and she's telling me her problems, I am like drenched. I mean, literally, I can feel the sweat running down my back. And when she was done telling me some of the things that were wrong with her, I asked her, I said, do you have an air conditioner? And she said, well, yeah. She goes, I just had a new one put in last year, but I haven't needed it, because it's always so cold in this house. When I went to go check her thermostat, it was 98 degrees. I instantly knew. I was like, have you had your thyroid and your adrenals checked? She goes, no, why should I? I'm like, oh my God, yes. I mean, people don't get it. And I noticed that a lot. I noticed people in the middle of summer wearing sweaters, wearing sweatshirts, not turning their air on. And I'm like, okay, it's 105 degrees. Why aren't you turning the air on? Because they're cold, because their body is not functioning correctly. So that is a huge indicator for you guys. Another problem, as I mentioned, is dizziness, huge one. Fatigue, depression, anxiety, sensitivity to light, sound, and movement. When my adrenals were shot, I could not drive. It was like sensory overload. The speed of the cars, the oncoming lights, it was just too much for my sensory perception. And another thing I had a really hard time with was going out to eat. Anywhere I went, I would just start freaking out in the restaurant. I would literally have anxiety attacks because between the waiters movement and people standing up and sitting down and the plates clinking and the music, it was just it was too much, and it would start to get really loud to me, and instantly it would throw me into an anxiety attack. And I didn't realize that it was my adrenals. And a lot of people don't understand. They're just thinking, oh, I have an anxiety attack, I'm having a panic attack. No, you're not having a panic attack. You're not having an anxiety attack. Your adrenals are shot. And ever since I started rebuilding my adrenals and rebuilding my kidneys, I haven't had that problem anymore. So, I mean, it's totally gone away. I can go out now and everything sounds normal to me. The lights are normal to me. So, you know, if you, that's the problem that you're having, you really need to take a look at your adrenals and your thyroid. For women, you're going to have a low sex drive because we do get a lot of our hormones from our adrenals. So if you have very low sex drive and you can't figure out why, and you're still in love with your partner and you can't figure out why, that is something to look at, because that is that's going to be your number one problem. Even if you no longer have your ovaries, you should still have a active sex life, and you should have no problems with that unless your adrenals are shot. Then you will. A lot of people ask me if it's worth getting your adrenals tested. Okay, in order to fail the test, you have to be so low that it will kill you. 6.1, your cortisol levels are perfectly normal, and anything under 5.9, you're basically Addison's, and it could kill you. The problem is that you can take 2 test tubes within 5 minutes apart, get 2 different blood tests, and one will show 6.2, the other one will show 5.9. So in one you're healthy, the other one you're dying. So, you know, God bless modern medicine, that's all I can say. Kidneys need to filter in order, your adrenals need to be working and your kidneys need to be filtering. I've had people constantly tell me, you know, your urine is supposed to be nice and clear and perfect, and no, your urine is not supposed to be clear, and it's not supposed to be all nice and perfect. If you are filtering your lymphatic system like you should be, if your lymph system is moving like it should be, and coming out of your body like it should be, and that acid is leaving your body like it should be, you should have sediment in your urine. Now, I'm not going to be rude here. I don't have what it takes to show you guys a urine sample of mine. I haven't gotten that, yeah, I haven't gotten there yet. So I'm going to direct you over to a young man that I just simply adore. His name is Matthew Meller, and he will show you what sediment looks like. He's a little crazy, but you know, guys, bear with him, because he actually does know what he's talking about, and he actually can get you very healthy, and he's doing some wonderful things. So I'm going to put the link down below to his video showing you what sediment in urine should look like, what your urine should look like. Another thing that your adrenals need is a hormone called ACTH, and that hormone comes from the pituitary gland. So you kind of want to help your pituitary gland along, and the best thing for that is Marigold liquid. And as far as I know, I've only seen it sold by one lady, and that is Dr. Morning. And I will put a link down to her video, and you can see that, and then she can take you to her website if you want to order that. Because it's not the marigold, like the flower that's out there in your yard, okay? It's got to be in liquid form, and it's very hard to find, believe it or not, but you can actually get it from her. Some of the worst things that you can actually do for your adrenals is, like I said, sugar, anything that stimulates, anything that is a stimulant. Stress is a stimulant. Caffeine is a stimulant. Energy drinks are stimulants. Anything that is a stimulant, sugar, will kill your adrenals. The problem with getting off of sugar is you have to do it very slowly, because your adrenals are used to that, and literally, I mean, you will collapse if you try to take that sugar away. And the reason I say that is because I did it. I took my sugar. I said, okay, as of tomorrow, I'm not eating sugar anymore. And I literally, my kidneys started shutting down and my adrenals started shutting down. And I would sit there and I would be watching TV, and I would just like, I mean, my family kept going, are you okay? And I was like, I just can't, I could not keep my eyes open. Could not keep my eyes open. So, yeah, I mean, it's just as bad as coming off heroin, coming off cigarettes, coming off any drugs, you know, or alcohol. I mean, it could do some real damage to your body. So you want to do that slowly. You want to start kind of moving over to like honey, which isn't as damaging to the body. Well, actually, it doesn't do any damage to the body. So you want to start, you know, incorporating the healthy foods and start deleting the sugar. Healing the adrenals. How do you heal the adrenals? Fats. Adrenals need fats. Saturated fats, just like mother's breast milk. You need saturated fats, and the adrenals definitely need saturated fats. The best form of saturated fats are coconut oil and avocados. I am a huge advocate of, I eat at least one avocado every day, if not two. Every day. Avocados are excellent for your liver, and they are also great for your adrenals. And coconut oil, I can't even say enough great things about it. I eat a teaspoon every morning when I get up. And coconut oil, actually, there's been a lot of research done where it actually helps with Alzheimer's. So you definitely want to get that coconut oil into your system. And yes, coconut oil is healthy. I don't really like cooking with it because you can't really heat coconut oil. You know, like when I have family over, they like their cooked foods. So, like I said, I'm mainly raw food, so I barely ever turn that stove on. Fruits. People will ask me, is it okay if I eat vegetables? You know, it's okay if you eat vegetables, but the fruits are healthier for your adrenals than the vegetables are. Because it's what we're used to. We're used to honey, we're used to coconut, sap sugar, we're used to, you know, the natural stuff. That's what your adrenals are used to, and that's what you're going to do the best with on your adrenals. So, and it also cuts your sugar cravings. When I was trying to get off sugar, I was like, give me fruit. You know, go ahead, eat fruit. It's good for you. One of the things that your adrenals absolutely, positively need is salt. There's so many people that says, you know, you shouldn't eat salt. Salt is bad for you. You know, that is a bunch of hogwash. The people that tell you that don't know how the body operates. Your adrenals run on salt. Not just any salt. It cannot be table salt. It has got to be pink Himalayan salt. A good quality sea salt. And what I do is I usually try to down at least 1 glass of water a day with half a teaspoon of Himalayan sea salt in it. I just down it real quick. And that helps your adrenals. And it also helps your kidneys because it helps you to, your body to hold on to that water. Because you're always dehydrated if you don't have any salt in your body. And a lot of people will start showing salt deficiency. I can look at them and I can see their lips, and they have all these cuts in their lip because they don't have enough sodium in their system. They're not retaining any water, and all the water they're putting through is just going out the other end because it's not being retained. So your adrenals need salt. You need to sleep. Most people that have adrenal weakness, it's because they sleep 3 and 4 hours. I gotta go. I gotta get going. Oh my God, I gotta do this. I gotta get over here. I have this appointment. If you can ever find the time when you are off work, turn off the phone, turn off the radio, turn off the TV, turn everything off, and just stay in bed. Make everything dark in your bedroom and just relax. Let those adrenals start to heal. Inversion tables. Awesome. I can't even say enough good stuff about inversion tables. When I first started looking at inversion tables, they were like $150, $200. I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm not getting an inversion table right now. And then a friend turned me on to Craigslist, and I found out you can get inversion tables for $40, $50, whatever. I have a dear friend. I love her to death. She is 92 years old, and she does her inversion table every morning when she gets up. She swears by it. She says we spend half of our life standing up. Everything starts to sag down. So if you get on that inversion table and you turn everything the other way, everything has to go the other. And you know, that kind of made sense to me. But they're actually wonderful for the adrenals. Who knew? Deer antlers and glandulars. I don't really like to tell people that because, I don't know, I guess it's up to you. Some people don't have a problem with taking glandulars. I couldn't take them. I just couldn't do it. It's actually the gland. It's the adrenal glands of the animal, and I couldn't do it. I heard wonderful things about deer antlers, so I actually bought deer antlers. And man, did they do my adrenals justice. But I spent a couple of years up in the mountains of Arizona. Yes, there are mountains in Arizona, and it snows horribly up there, and there's a ski resort and everything else in Arizona. And I still have family up there. And it's a very heavy deer populated area. And once a year, we would go antler hunting, and it's huge up there. And you just throw your backpack on, you throw a good pair of hiking shoes on, and you head for the woods. And if you, during the year, if you've been keeping track of the deer, you kind of know where they would be. So they drop their antlers. So you go out there, you pick up their antlers. Yeah, they're antlers. And you bring them back into town, and you would turn them in at the local taxidermy place, and they would actually pay you for them. And what they do, and I mean, this doesn't hurt the deer. I mean, they just drop their antlers. So the more you collect, the more money you make, and it was like a huge pastime up there. But anyway, they the part where it falls off the deer, they would scrape all this, and they make something out of it, some kind of lotion out of it. And they would take the velvets off, and they would make the deer velvet antlers. So I was okay with ordering the deer velvet antlers until I learned that after the Olympics it became extremely huge, and there was more supply and demand. And what they started doing was that they started putting these deers under anesthesia to cut their velvets off, and then it got to be really ugly. Some of the deers they didn't even put under anesthesia. They would just cut their, and yeah, there's ugly pictures all over the internet of it. So you know what, deer antlers and glandulars, it's kind of up to you, if you know what you can do. I got to a point where I just couldn't even take the pills. It upset me. So, you know, like I said, it's up to you on if you want to do that or not. Eleuthero ginseng. It's Siberian ginseng. Love it. Love it. Best thing I ever did for my adrenals. It's an adaptogenic. It worked really well for my adrenals. It gave me energy. It made me feel good. Holy basil. Holy basil is something else that you can do for your adrenals. Actually, anyone can benefit from holy basil. It's wonderful. I mean, there's a reason why they call it holy basil, and it's not regular basil. It has to be holy basil, and you will love this stuff. Chaga mushroom tea. Awesome. Love it. Problem is that either reishi or chaga mushrooms are very, very expensive. So if you guys, I mean, like up at my herbal store, it's like $20, you know, for a thing like that. So, you know, if you guys want to go that route, they are awesome. They are wonderful. Potassium is something, like I said, if your adrenals are low, you're going to be low in potassium. So potassium, 1 potassium pill a day, awesome. Licorice, not the sugar stuff that you get at the candy store at the movies, like licorice, that the herbal licorice that you make into a tea. Vitamin B5, vitamin C. You can actually get a product called Cordysing, Cordyseng, and Cordysing actually has reishi mushrooms in it, licorice, ginger, and it is wonderful. I cannot say enough wonderful things about this product. It is great for the adrenals, for the spleen, for the stomach, for the kidneys, for your lungs. It helps with digestion. Awesome, awesome product. You can usually pick it up at Amazon.com for right around $20. It's great if you have a lot of fatigue, and it's associated with any form of illness, you know, with MS or diabetes, or, you know, anything where you would have a lot of fatigue. And it's also great for recovering after you have surgery. I can't say enough about it. And it's called Cordysing. It's Cordyseng, and it's if I remember correctly, it's from the silkworm or something like that. It has something to do with that. There is another product called Adrenal Stress End. It runs about $15. You take 2 capsules a day. I've had some people that I haven't tried this myself. I've had some people that have ordered it. Some people absolutely loved it. Other people, it made them very sick and it made them throw up. So, I mean, that one's up to you. I can't recommend it because I've never really tried it. All I know is from my clients and what they've told me. And some of them, like I said, absolutely adored it. The other half couldn't stop throwing up after they took it. It upset their stomach for somehow. That's the main side effect that everyone said. Something that I highly, highly recommend, and I've done it, is turn off the news. Just turn it off. Turn it off. You know, at one point in history, sex used to sell. Well, now fear sells, it seems. So the more fear that they put out there, you know, the better off they are. And they seem to get a hold of a certain news clip, and they just run it and run it and run it into the ground. And, you know, by fear, the mass is controlled. It's like, turn off that TV and, you know, and just let it go. I gave up the news, I'd say well over 2 years ago. I don't watch the news because it's very depressing, and all they want to do is put fear into you, and it stresses you out. Do your adrenals a favor and shoot your TV. And one of the things that I noticed people with adrenal fatigue have a lot of problems with is, please say no to things that don't feel good to you. You know, if someone asks you, hey, can you help me move on Saturday? And, you know, you've been working for the last 3 weeks, you haven't had a day off, and Saturday is going to be the only day that you can relax. Say no. No. If it does not feel good, because you know what, the whole time you're going to help these people move, you're going to be stressed out. You're going to be, oh, this is my only day off. I wish I would have said no. Why didn't I say no? Why did I, you know, and you're going to be stressed out, and you're going to say no. Say no. So, that is basically my my adrenal stuff. That's what I did. And one thing that I highly recommend is juicing. I know I push juice a lot, but it really, I cannot say enough stuff about juicing. This is actually watermelon juice, because nothing tastes better when it's hot outside than watermelon juice. I don't care what anybody says. But you know, I mean, for me, when I started getting off the sugar and started healing my adrenals, nothing was better than juice, because you know, you can juice a whole pineapple, you can juice half a watermelon, you can juice things that are sweet to you, and it'll kind of curb your sweet tooth, and at the same time, you know, you're nourishing your body. So juicing helps a lot when you're trying to cut the sweets, out. So that is my adrenal information that needs to go with the kidney information. And I hope I've hit everything, you guys, because I mean, there's just so much information out there, and it's really hard. And one thing that I tell all my clients is that I always come from a been there, done that perspective. And you know, and I help them because I've been there, done that. And there's things that I learned from them just like they learned from me. So with that being said, I hope that I have helped you somehow. I recently started a Facebook group, which I will be putting the link down to below, and it's actually a health group. And as much as I love doing these videos for you guys, I feel that it's very one-sided. I get a lot of emails wanting help and wanting information, and you know, how to take care of this and how do I do that. So I opened this group up so that people can come to this group, and there's more of a give and take, a kind of sharing, so that if you guys want to ask questions, you can go in the group. And I have been completely blessed. I can't even say thank you enough to all the people that are in that group. I have some wonderful, wonderful ladies who are actual, they've been dealing with herbs their whole life. They're master herbalists. They are wonderful, wonderful ladies in the medical field. And if you want, you can go there and get information. And I would love to see that group grow, and so we can do, you know, an exchange, and we can help more people on a larger scale than what I'm doing now. So without taking any more time, I know that these videos where I dig into the, you know, into the glands and stuff take forever, and I really do appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. I know some of these are long, and I really do appreciate your time and you guys following me. I can't thank you enough. So till next time, you guys know the drill. Stay healthy, stay happy, and check out the group, and that way you guys can ask questions. All right, till next time. See you guys. Bye-bye.